Hello, painting thieves, and welcome. It's Kathleen from COZ Creations. Welcome to the No Bra Zone, guys. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy I'm here because we're going to be doing some painting. But before I get started, I want to answer a few questions for some people. A lot of people reach out about consistencies and how much PM to my paint, how much paint to my PM, and how much of this and how much of that. Well, it can make your head spin. We've talked about it before, but recently I had one woman get a little agitated with me because I couldn't quite answer her question. And I'll tell you why. It depends on your paint. It depends on your pouring medium. It depends on so many things, guys. And there truly, really, and honestly are no real good answers to the question. Please know I have no secrets. This sweet woman almost implied that I was keeping things from her, and I am not. It depends on so many things. In order for me to answer your questions 100% properly, I'd have to send you a 30 questionnaire to fill out. So let me discuss just a few little issues of this, and I promise in the very near future I will give a more detailed explanation of how I do things. Everybody does it different. What works for me might not work for you guys. That's basically the nature of the beast. But pouring mediums. A lot of people use Floetrol and water. A lot of people use Floetrol and Gac. A lot of people use mixed pouring medium, Liquitex pouring medium. They are all different. And let me show you. Let me show you that. Hang on, let me get my Gac. Floetrol. Floetrol is thick. At least it's thick by my standards. I'm going to put a little bit of Floetrol right here on this plate for you. There you go. And then I'm going to put a little Gac 800, which is part of my pouring medium. Let me get it open. I apologize. I've already prepped my canvas below and I don't want to get anything on it. Here's Gac. I use 50% Floetrol to 50% Gac 800. Now the reason I do that is after a lot of experimenting, I found that pouring medium, 50% Gac, 50% Floetrol, works best for me when I'm doing my swipes. Now I know that's white on white. Oh, I hope you can see that. Oh, bad call. Anyways, Gac 800 is much thinner than Floetrol. So, it depends on your pouring medium. Floetrol is heavier than Gac 800. So if you ask me how to mix your paints, I need to know what your pouring medium is. 50% Floetrol, 50% Gac 800 works best for me with my swipes. Now, when I'm doing my straight pours or my ring pours, I use the mix pour because it's thicker, and I like my paints thicker when I'm doing a ring pour or when I'm doing a straight pour. Paints. What kind of paints are you using? Let me get another paper plate here, guys. Actually, I think I can, might be another one under here. I use a fluid pouring medium. Gac makes my pouring medium fluid. I also use fluid paints. What does that mean? Right here, fluid paints. They're more fluid than your tube paints. So when you take a fluid paint and add it to a fluid pouring medium, it makes your paints fluid. Now, if I added mix pour to this, my paints would be less fluid and thicker for ring pours, straight pours, other kinds of pours. Now let me show you this. And I know, go ahead and fast forward, guys, if you've been through this, if you know all this. This is a fluid paint. It's fluid. It's more fluid. I don't know what they do to it. I'm not a scientist. This is a tube paint. A lot of you people use tube paint. And that's okay. I use tube paints, but let's take a look at this. Put a little dab. I mean, you can tell already one's mounded, one's totally flat. Let's tilt that. Fluid paint, medium body paint, and then there's paints that are even heavier bodied than this. So how much pouring medium do you add to your paints? It depends on your paint. How much water do you add to your paints? It depends on your paint. If it's a heavier bodied paint, I would need to add water to it to get it down to the certain consistency I'm looking for, depending on what type of technique. When I'm doing my swipes, I like my paint fluid. We're doing a swipe today. All my paints are fluid, and they're mixed with a fluid pouring medium, Floetrol and 50% Gac. I hope I don't sound like I'm yelling at you guys. It's just, you gotta find your way. You gotta experiment. You gotta try something. If it doesn't work, figure out what to do differently the next time you try it. Maybe your paints were too thick. Maybe your paints were too thin. So, how do I mix my paints? Very carefully, guys, very, very carefully. So I hope that little ditty helped you a little bit, guys. Depends on your PM. It depends on the type of paints. You give me more information when you ask me these questions, and I'll do my darndest to answer them. Let me put this stuff away. So guys, we're going to do a swipe today because I haven't done one in a while, and I've got this beautiful silver frame that I want to use, and I thought I would do a painting that hopefully would look really nice in it. Now, this is a gallery wrap canvas. I threw the packaging away. This is a 20 by 24 gallery wrap canvas, a really nice size, and I should have known that because that's the size of the floating frame that I have. Our base coat is already down. Now let me tell you what I've started to do with my base coats. I'm mixing them with just Floetrol. I used to Floetrol and water if needed. I used to mix them with my pouring medium for a swipe, 50% Floetrol, 50% Golden Gac 800. Gac 800 is expensive, and I just felt like, you know, I don't think I need it in my base coat. So my base coat today is Rust-Oleum Metallic Accents, and this is the metallic pewter. Good paint, 24 bucks for this guy, but it'll last you months. It really, really will. So the base coat is mixed with my paint, Floetrol, and water to get it to the consistency that you like with your swipes. Now my swipe consistencies leave very little trace. They're very fluid when the paint falls off the popsicle stick into the paint below. So that's our base coat. Beautiful, beautiful color. We're also using Artist Flow acrylics in the black. This is mixed with my swiping pouring medium, 50% Floetrol, 50% Golden Gac 800. Now, I put a tablespoon of the Aussie Floetrol in it. What the heck? I got it. Let's use it. Let's play with it. So, pouring medium, a tablespoon of the Aussie Floetrol. Let's see if you can see the consistency of that. A lot of people ask me, are your swipe paints the same consistency as your base coat? Yes. My base coat is thin, my swipe colors are thin. In this pretty cup right here, just a beautiful silver. We have golden fluid acrylics in the iridescent silver. In this cup right here, we have golden fluids in the iridescent silver, and I added a little bit of the Lego pearl medium to it, about 1 part paint, 1 part pearl medium, and then my pouring medium to consistency. Now, I did not need to add any water to any of my paints with the exception of my base coat color because this is not a fluid paint. Am I making your head spin? If I am, I apologize, guys. My head certainly spun for the first 10 months of my painting journey. This pretty cup right here. Oh, for good luck, guys. Tell me what it is. That's our Golden Fluids Iridescent Pearl. Now, 1 part paint, 4 parts PM. When I'm using my golden fluids, it can handle 4 to 5 parts of PM because they're so highly pigmented. This final color right here, let's take a look at it. This guy might be a little bit thick. That is Golden Iridescent Silver and the Rust-Oleum Metallics and the Metallic Pewter. So I mixed these two together. I put this in the cup, added my pouring medium to it, put a few squirts of this until I got it to the color that I wanted. So we're going to be swiping today. Our swiping tool of choice today is our damp paper towels, but I also might be using Tracy Reed's swiping tool that she sent to me. Very cool tool, easy to clean up. You just got to get used to the amount of pressure that you can apply to this. And if you want to apply a lot of pressure, this is your tool. If you apply pressure, it brings up more of your base coat. I'm going to put some tunes on for you guys. I'm going to put some tunes on for me. Oh, I forgot. Really super important, exciting, and a little nervous. I'm having my first live auction, guys, and I hope that you all stop in to say hello. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. There'll be some good surprises. It's this coming Saturday, January 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please stop by and say hello. I would love to see all you familiar painting peeps stop in to say hello. We're going to have a good time, guys. Next Saturday, January 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's put some tunes on. Let's paint, guys.
Wow. And I know that it's hard, but stay.
with you guys. I want to tell you what I'm doing and why I just swiped a second time. I always do a test tilt when I'm close to being done. I tilt my canvas and I watch to see if any of the paint is flowing and how much is flowing. A little bit of flow is okay. You can see here there's almost no flow. And when I tilted it a few minutes ago, there was a lot of flow in through here as this black paint was moving down, and that was too much for my liking, so I went ahead and swiped it again. Now when you do your second swipe, your cells change a little bit. You can see that these are a little bit more bubbly and cloud-like, which I am partial to, and these are a little bit smaller. Now, I really want to have a defined black line down the center, but I don't want to add any more paint to it and have too much paint on my canvas. So what I do is I wait until this painting is totally, completely 100% dry. I mix up some black paint with a little bit of my pouring medium, and I get in here and I paint it with a brush. Now you just can't paint one area because the sheen is going to be a little bit different. So I have to carefully paint this whole area right in here. Now, if the sheen's a little bit different, and then you're going to put down your isolation coat and your layers of varnish after the painting is totally dry, you're not likely to see the difference in that sheen. Also, you can see right here in this spot and right in along here, I'm missing some nice bubbly cells. So I do what's called man-made cells. And they're close, but they are not spot on when you apply them. But I'm going to go ahead and apply them. Now I have to guess which silver this is that's kind of towards the top. And what I do is I take a very small stir stick, I dip it into my paint, and then I add a droplet and another droplet and another droplet. But I disperse it all over the painting so those don't stand out looking differently. Now, after I do that, I torch them and they expand, which makes them look a lot more like the other cells. See, I don't really need them right in through there, but I want them all to kind of go across the board so they don't stand out as something different, if that makes sense. Man-made cells, or as one of my painting peeps pointed out to me, woman-made cells, and I'm okay with that. You can see that the black paint still creates a little bit of a band around it. Now I'm not going to add any up here because these cells right here I'm actually going to take away by adding black paint after my canvas is totally dry. This is a pretty swipe, guys. I don't know if you can see the shimmer in this, but it's pretty darn grand. Let me just give it a final torch. Now, guys, a lot of people also ask me, Kathleen, what do you do to the sides? I can't tilt it up enough for you all to see the sides. But the sides right now are totally silver. Even when I drag the paper towel over, there's a little bit of the black line that you see here in the composition. But on the points right here where I did my swipe lines, you can see the drips. Now, if the drips are consistent and they look good, I leave them. If not, when I turn the camera off, I get in here with a spongy brush and I take the lines away and clean up my sides. So this is a pretty swipe, guys. Let's go ahead and take you in for a close-up. I hope you can see the pearlescence in here. That pearl color is just in your face shining. It is so pretty, guys. Let me see, and I'll also post, as I usually do, pictures of the dried and the finished piece. Guys, thanks for being here. That was fun. I've got some leftover paint. I just might do another. Stay well, guys. Stay happy, and I hope I see you next Saturday the 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, painting peeps. Miss you till I see you again. Bye.